Another one. So we're back. This is round 5 right here. Hey, YouTube, say hi to Twitch, and Twitch, say hi to YouTube. We live. Let's go. So you can say it right now. Say hi to your future self if you're watching from Twitch and all that stuff. Twitch and YouTube and all that other good stuff, right? So, okay. Again, Twitch is YouTube, YouTube hi, all that other stuff. Cool. We here. Here we go. E4, C5. This game, I'm playing Grandmaster Alonso Zapata here. And yeah, so this is round 5. So I play e4, c5. I go knight f3. I know that he plays this variation of the Taimanov. This whole thing is called one idea, right? So this whole analysis today is talking about one idea, in fact. And that's really just, it does come down to sometimes that. And one of these games, or this game in particular, is like that. Thanks Demigod for the sub over there. Okay, so knight takes d4, right, and then e6. So knight c3, this is all theory. Queen c7, bishop e3, and a6. And in this position right here, you have many moves. You have queen f3, you have f4. I'm a fan of queen d2, bishop e. I'm a fan of all of these lines. f3, f4, queen f3, right, g3, a3. You have lots of moves here. But this one right here, and after I made this move, he thought for like maybe 15 minutes, believe it or not. And this one, I was very nice to be able to throw this move at him because I'm prepped, you know, a lot in these type of lines. I love aggressive type of moves. So I play this move and he thinks for like 15 minutes. It's G4. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? So he started thinking and I'm like, oh, okay, big fella, you ain't that used to this, are you? So after I go G4 for the score, he goes bishop B4 quite quickly. Right, and bishop b4 is fine. In fact, with the bishop b4 lines, I'm supposed to capture, which I do. This is still theory. Knight takes. Now, you can't take with the queen. Right now, a queen takes is usually not the best because I have queen to d4 here. Forcing you a concession. Bishop takes c3. Pawn takes, right? Thank you for so much. 2 months with the prime, Justin St. James. And then after knight f6, I play f3, and I have this type of position. I could also play g5. I was a big fan of the g5 move here. Knight takes, queen takes g7. I mean, this stuff gets crazy. If queen takes c3, right, takes. Remember, guys, calculation over everything. That is a merch plug right there. Yeah, that's a merch plug. I know, a shameless merch plug, right? Calculation over everything. Absolutely. Shop cantymerch.com, 100%. Yes, but this is calculation, right? So this would have happened in the game if he follows this line. But after queen takes, rook f8. So rook f8, queen has to move. Well, no, sorry, queen doesn't have to move. Queen is here, bishop to g2. With this type of idea here, just all type of things can happen. Queen takes h7. I had a game where I was able to run the h-pawn down in positions like this. Okay, back to it, though. He takes with the b pawn. Of course, just having some central control, wants to keep the b file open for his rook, especially if I castle queenside. I go queen to d4 anyway, attacking the bishop. And instead of capturing on c3, he goes, you know, this was a GM move. Like, for real. I mean, he's a grandmaster. Alonso Zapata is a legendary. Like, you can Google his name and he'll pop up. You'll see everything about him. The man is a legend. But after he plays a move that I was like, oh, snap. So he plays this move right here, bishop e7. Bruh. I was like, oh, this man, oh, he's serious. Oh, he's serious out here, right? And why I say that, it's like, oh, you know, you just take the pawn. If you take the pawn, bro, what? Like, you just like, you're, you know what's funny? I cannot believe that the engine says that this is, oh, black's only better by minus 1.7 somehow. After bishop f6, my move here is supposed to be bishop to h6. Garbage. And it's supposed to be fine. Have you lost your mind? What do you mean fine? You know what? Let's get this off the screen, bro. We're not even about to talk about this because nobody's playing this. But queen takes g7. I'm not playing. Like, I'm just not about to play this move. So he plays bishop e7, right? And I make a logical move, which is getting out of the way, right? As an attacking player, attacking one-on-one for you watching, and if you like to attack, then things like this matter. You need to develop very quickly. So yeah, okay, I could have played a lot of other moves, but I need to castle, and I noticed that most of my attacks, or most of the best attacks, if you look at Uncle Nesbedinov's games or Grandfather Tao's games, you'll see that they develop very quickly, and then they sack something, and GG. That's just how it goes. So after castle queenside, c5, and I'm like, oh, he's making pawn moves, right? He's making pawn moves. I'm doing good. So I move the queen back to d2. Why d2? Because d3 actually blocks the bishop. c4 blocks the bishop, A4 has no reason to be over here. In fact, it influences a quick bishop to B7, which develops, and a bishop to C6. And my queen again has to move. Vulnerable. The B file is open. Not a great square. Queen usually goes to D2. Sometimes you push the F pawn. Queen swings this way. So we go to D2. Knight to F6. Now we don't even have to worry about bishop B4 that happens. So I'm feeling very comfortable here. After knight F6, I thought of a few lines here of bishop F4 and F3. Both of these lines were playable. I played the F3 one, which defends G4. There's a more line with bishop H6. Oh, I know exactly what that is, E-Wizzle. But I know exactly that line, but the queen's on F6. The queen's on F6, E-Wizzle. I know exactly that line. You know, I know a lot of theory. F3 and then castles. So after castles, I play G5, right? So I go G5, and then right here he goes knight to E8. So at this point, I'm like, bruh. Oh yeah, big dog. Oh yeah. Right? We about to swing. Like we ready. I'm feeling good here because my pieces are about to get active. I'm about to start swinging at him. His knight is on E8. So with that being said, it's on you, chat. Okay, so let's move this over to you watching. This is called One Idea, and this one is the critical moment. This is the most critical part of the game right here. You better get this right. This is the most critical. Believe it or not, this is the most critical moment of the game right here. Where do you go? What are you supposed to do? Wood Pusher says H4. Night King says H4 as well. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So we have 2 for H4. 2 H4s there. Interesting. Okay. We have the H4 option. Again, this is very critical, guys. So you have to like be very, very accurate. Like you gotta know what you're doing. I mean, your plan needs to be right. Your plan, your one idea needs to be right here. I mean, of course, many ideas, but you need the right idea. So you have Rook G1, Bishop C4, get the pieces out, get the pieces active. Okay, I like it. H4 is always there from E-Wizzle. Okay. All right. Okay. All right, so I need y'all to understand something here, guys. Chess is a very, very hard game, as we all know this, right? It literally goes from like, you know, I'm like almost +2 here to like not plus anything at all, equal in like one move. One move. Here it is, guys. In fact, the one idea, and this is what this is about, with the move that I was supposed to play, which I thought was too slow, is actually, believe it or not, is H4. Like, bro, come on. Bro, I'm supposed to play H4, but I felt that this was too slow because I have to play H4, and then I have to play H5, then I have to play H6, right? I have to do all of this, and it lets him get active, and I just, of course, calculation is everything, right? Right, shameless plug. Boom, there it is, right? Shop Canty merch. Make sure you're calculating, because if I would have calculated a little bit deeper, one idea, obviously, then I would calculate enough to see that he does not just have enough to get to me, to be honest. Simon approves. Exactly, Simon Williams approves. Pushing Harry the H-pawn. All right, I was supposed to push Harry here. What I did, though, was similar, but I pushed Frank, and this is not right. Bruh. This is not right at all. This is the wrong idea. It looks the same. One idea, bro. It looks the same, but it is not the same. Believe it or not, guys, look at this. Like, and why is this? Can anyone tell me why is this different? Like, it's the same. And even I even thought that F4, F5, F6 is even greater, because now you get to open up the F file and you get to open this up. What's the difference between F4 and H4? Can anybody tell me what the difference is? And then when he did what happened here, let me know why Alonso Zapata is a legendary GM. And it's all because, again, one idea. Like, one idea, this man, he's so good, bro. He's so good. He really is. He really is. He actually helped a lot of grandmasters too, and Arthur Guo too as well. But it's like, man, it was like, wow. After he played it, I was amazed at the idea that he came up with after the fact that I played F4. And then, guys, chess is such a powerful game. Once you understand and once you learn things, you can take it to your next games. It's really miraculous, the things that happen. Let's see what happens. F4 blocks the bishop. Thanks for the follow, Wensky. F4, F5, bishop E7. All right, so here it is. Nobody's getting it, right? And I understand because I didn't get it either. My guy, I didn't get it either. Bruh. Here it is. Watch this, right? So h4 keeps this pawn keeps this pawn available for I need to be able to play f4. Why do I need to be able to play f4? Because there's one idea that this man played. I played f4, he played rook b8, and he chilled. And he said, okay, cool. Rook b8, what am I playing f4 for, right? To play f5. I go f5, and here it is. He hits me with this move right here, and he lets me know that this is why he's a legendary GM. Bishop d6. And I was like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This man is a genius. Like, it was absolutely, I mean, it just makes sense, obviously, but this move is so good. It is such a good move, guys. To understand the depth of this move is such a strong move. Because once the bishop gets to e5, not only does it control everything over here, it also defends everything over here. It's hard to get rid of this bishop, and it's a very hard piece to deal with. You also have d5. He's going to open up the game. And I was like, oh my goodness, this man is an absolute genius. Like 55 head here. What? It was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. I really love this idea. But what I was supposed to do, right? Why does h4 matter? Well, watch this. If we do the same moves, h4, rook b8, right? And then if I go h5, right? And then he goes bishop d6. I can now go f4 when I need to. I don't need to right now, but I have the idea to play f4 and keep him out of e5 forever. One idea. It's amazing in chess. Absolutely amazing. So I didn't go for this. So let me show you the rest of the game. I go f4, he goes rook b8. I go f5, he goes bishop d6. And here I thought for like 15, 20 minutes, bro, easy, because I thought about everything. I mean, and why did I think here? This is another critical moment, is because do I play f6? Do I play g6? Do I play h4, h5? Again, that's really slow. Do I play bishop g2? Do I play bishop d3? This bishop needs to go somewhere. Do I go bishop c4? He's going to play bishop e5. He's going to play bishop e5. What about king b1? Oh, he's going to play bishop e5. What if he's going to, bro, bishop e5 is real. He's always going to play bishop e5. Queen a5 is coming. His rook already on b8. I'm actually on the defensive now. So I was like, well, how can I be on offensive and I need to be able to tuck and roll with the king? What I mean by that is I remember lots of theory where the queen vacates this square on d2. So it's a wrap. Like, look, he about to be active. He on your head, big fella. Thanks to I got some brain fuel. He on your head, big fella. He about to get on you. Bishop e5, queen a5. He on you. Like, he about to be on you. So you need to be able to run, tuck and roll with the king. And a lot of times this rook can swing to b1. Right? So imagine a situation where this queen is on b2 like this. My queen's move, my king goes to d2, and I go rook b1 and skewer sometimes. This actually happens in theory. Actually, if you study the theory deep enough and look at games, and it's very strong players understand this stuff too as well. But bishop d6, so I go with this move right here. Engine hates it, but it's a practical choice. Exactly. Chess lover found it. That's exactly right, big fella. Queen f2. I go queen f2 and says, let's go. What you trying to do, right? So I go queen f2. He goes bishop e5. And I thought about a few moves here. Because it's about to get crazy. So I was thinking about queen h4. I was thinking about rook d3 and even sacrificing the exchange. I thought about rook d3. And then if c4, I was going to go rook d4. I was just going to actually sacrifice the exchange. This was one thing. But then I thought, well, he never actually has to take it right now. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's not right, you know. So, but this was one idea because I do want to get rid of this bishop. And even even sacrificing the exchange here, which the engine actually says this is fine, is playable because his pieces are on the back rank and I'm attacking his king. So the exchange sacrifice makes sense. So I thought about this in calculation. What else did I think about? Knight a4 is not looking good. I thought about abandoning everything in life and just going queen h4 and just like, I don't care about nothing. I'm just about to try to mate him, right? But then queen b7, and I thought about like a rook d3. This is, guys, I'm talking about I was in the tank thinking rook d3, queen takes b2, and king d2. And I thought that this could happen, but then even right here, he could play c4. And then here I thought of sacrificing the exchange, rook d4, but then again, he never has to take it. And I got to this position and realized this is just ridiculous. Like, I'm not really, I mean, this is chaos. It looks like I'm attacking him, but really, at any given moment, a lot of times he can push. If I push, he pushes past. And I'm missing the firepower that I need. I'm like one or two moves short away, right? So it doesn't actually work. So after queen f2, bishop e5, I'm like, well, here we go, big fella. I take on c5. And here it is. So I take on c5. He goes d6. Sorry, no, he takes first. And then he plays d6. I back the bishop up on a3. He takes on c3. Here we go. And the move I'm supposed to play is queen g3. But the move, and rook d3 actually is playable. But I messed this up. King d2. And here, I go king d2, rook b1. This is all playable. Rook here. I mean, queen d4. Oh my goodness. Like, this was all right. I thought I was losing here, but this is all correct. And then rook d1 check. King e3. So I blundered in here. Rook takes. And I was supposed to take with the king, believe it or not. Queen takes, loses. Wow. And that's what I took with here. Queen takes, loses. Pawn takes. I mean, this is a crazy position. You know what I'm saying? Like, my king is on e3. Like, what on earth is this? But of course, this is a position that I will play any time of the day or week. Like, I love these type of positions. But this was crazy. So queen takes, loses. Interesting. And then he takes on f5. But why? Yeah. The problem here is what happens in the game. I think after pawn takes, I didn't like that. Well, he has queen e1 check. I didn't like this check. And then him taking. This is the line I looked at. This is what deterred me from playing this. And I'm supposed to play h4 here? Are you kidding me? Bruh. I was not about to find that. I wasn't about to play no h4 in this position. That's what the engine say, h4, bro. Just play h4, you fine, bro. Like, you chill, like, chill. h4. Rook g1 is another move, but h4 in this position is outrageous. Wow. That's crazy. But that's what I didn't like that. I actually didn't like the fact that I had to give him that pawn. I give him that pawn, right? So, but and if king takes d3, I didn't like queen d1 check. There's a lot of checks, and I don't feel like this is not. It's not looking the greatest. Not looking the greatest there. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you for the hydrate there. But after king e3. Rook takes, queen takes, loses because of what happened. Did you calculate all this? Most of it. As much as I could, right? You know, calculation over everything. This is why we work on it every day. Oh, wow. I wonder, every time I say that, it just like pops up. Interesting. ShopCantyMerge.com. But calculation, right? I did calculate a lot of this. It's very interesting. But but some of this is so much to calculate. So much to calculate sometimes. Yeah, but I actually thought that I was fine here, but due to a miscalculation, because after I move, the hard part is missing that pieces can go like after I move the queen here, yes, you're defending, like, great job. Oh, you're defending the pawn. Yes, you are, aren't you? You're defending that pawn. And after he takes it, and then he checks you, and then you realize, bruh, I am actually not defending that pawn. I'm actually losing that pawn, right? So, and this is what happens in the game. And queen e5, and in fact, what I did here is I forgot. Like, I saw that I could play queen e4, and I grabbed my queen and touched it and immediately just resigned. Because I just realized that he could just do this. And then bishop b7, I'm losing. Right. Completely losing. Completely. But here, I was already lost here. Actually, after check, this is already losing. So, it was just a rough here. Miscalc here, but, I mean, all of this started from back here with the one idea that was off. Instead of playing f4, play h4. I thought it was too slow, but this was necessary to keep this bishop very bad. And then this is very easy to deal with on the b file. So it's good to understand. Good learning game here. Good learning. f4, f5, because I was really interested in this f6 idea, but he had other intentions, found the right GM idea, and he was able to win the game. That's just what he does, right? It's great stuff. So, all right, this was round 5, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Of course, we got round 6 coming tomorrow. Make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't already, and we'll see you on the next video.